Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Flow with Flow. This episode is so close to my heart. It's a very special episode because today, yes, today is actually Mother's Day. And I have the absolute pleasure of having a very special guest on the show today, and you will be meeting her very shortly. She is a guest who almost needs no introduction. She also looks a lot like me, and I look a lot like her. So who is our guest for today? Our guest is my very own mother. I have the pleasure and privilege of introducing Mrs. Dorothy Machingaidze to the show, and I really look forward to this conversation. Hi, Mama.
Hi. Hi, Flo.
Hello, welcome to the show. I'm so excited.
Thank you very much. I'm also excited to be on the show.
No, it's wonderful to have you. And how is your Mother's Day going?
Oh, it's wonderful. I've been really spoiled. I've got chocolates, I've got a big cake, I've got little flowers. Wow. You name it, I've got. And I really spoiled. Feel loved by my children. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
You are most welcome. It's the least we could do, being mostly so far away. We miss you very much, but we're very happy that you had a good Mother's Day. And on the subject of your day today, how did your mom enjoy her day? Because we have a special arrangement in the house, don't we?
Yes, we do. Oh, my mom really enjoyed it. She never went to bed. She's nearly 94 and she was sitting by the couch by my side. So we had a nice day.
Oh,
she loved it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Did she know it was Mother's Day, or did she just knew it was a special day?
Well, I went to church. Mm-hmm. At church, we got special blessings and we got these Mother's Day cards and sweets. So I also brought a card and a sweet. And I just said Mother's Day. So it was really special. It looks like she noticed there was something. She loved sweet anyway.
Yes, no, we know this. We know this about Mbuya, or Gogo, as some people call Mbuya. She loves her sweets, and thank you for spoiling her as well today.
She loves the good life.
Well, you know what, Mama? By the time one gets to 94, you should be able to eat anything you want and do anything you want.
Exactly. That's what she says. You don't give her what she wants. She says, when am I going to eat that?
Exactly. And so I think there's a lot of curiosity from everyone about this amazing person that is our mother. And I'll say our because I share you with others, right? So tell us a little bit about yourself as mom. You know, you are truly our matriarch. You know, you really are, and we honor you for that. But we'd like to know a little bit more about who is Dorothy Machingaidze, and also all these children that you have, all of us.
Well, Dorothy Machingaidze initially was born Dorothy Chidume. Then I got married to your dad. Well, when I grew up, my father was an orderly. He was in charge of a rural hospital. And so my mother was there. So we grew up in a fairly comfortable environment. I had 4 brothers and 3 sisters. Unfortunately, 3 of them are late. But we had a really lovely time. Now, it was a very rural area. So my father, instead of sending us to the rural schools, he was putting us in boarding schools. We hated that. But we found that in the end, it was the best thing for us. So really, that in short, that's how we grew up. So my mom is now old, my dad is late. So I'm now looking after my mom and I enjoy doing that. So in short, that is me.
That's amazing. So you have 5 of us, right? Well,
Yeah.
six. Well, there are quite a few, right? It's more than 5. Let's take the 5 core ones, and then we know there are others. So
up to 20.
Yeah, how many children have you raised in your life? There are many.
There are many. I can easily count up to 20.
Yep.
Quite comfortably.
Yes. But you know what was amazing about that, Mama? We always felt like we were one big family. There was never anyone who we thought, oh, this one is an outsider, or this one is not our actual brother. This one is more a cousin. To you made us feel everyone was our brother or our sister. And I just remember growing up in this just happy home. And thank you for creating that. You created an idyllic home. I mean, we had the basics of what we needed, but we felt like we lived in a castle.
We're not very rich, but we're rich in spirit.
Yes, you are right about that.
Really, yes, we got by, but we were very rich in spirits, and everyone really was happy growing up.
No, you taught us that. Mm.
And there was no cousin in the home. They were all children.
Yes.
In our culture, they are cousins.
Exactly. We don't have cousins, we just have brothers or sisters. So Mama, I'm curious about something I've always wanted to ask you. So when the first 3 of us, when we were all below the age of 4, I think?
Yes.
Yes. And there were 3 of us, and it was in the middle of a war. How did you manage to be a mother and to keep us safe? And how was that time? I've always wanted to ask you that.
It was a tough time, but by God's grace, well, I should actually, let me start from the time we got married. Mm-hmm. We got married when I was 18, which was really a bit early, but I got a wonderful man. So it was 1971. Then from there, we went to St. Albert's in Mount Darwin. David had been born 1. I hope he doesn't mind me using his name.
I'm sure he doesn't mind.
So we stayed there. Then 1972, Catherine was born, and we were still in Mount Darwin. We were very happy. We had big houses there. And then the war started. So we had to leave Mount Darwin, St. Albert's in Mount Darwin. And we went to Chikore Mission. When we stayed there in 1973, 74, 75, then Mozambique became independent. Then the war started in Chikore Mission, and we had to run away from there. And that was 1976. That's when I decided to go back to college to train as a teacher. Meanwhile, there were children who were living in Chipinge, and I had to move them out from there. We walked about 20 kilometers on foot with the children on our back because there were no roads. Wow. So we got to where parents were staying. So I left you all there, the 3 of you there, and then I went back to college. While I was at college, the war broke out where the children were. So I had to rush and pick the children and put them at Daramombe. Wow. So I left you there for 1977. Then 1978, when I completed, 77, the war broke out again. And then you had to be moved to Gweru. That's where your father was now working. So then I came to Gweru, and then we settled in Gweru. Wow. Yeah, during the war, we had a tough time just carrying children around. I remember when we went to Chipinge, to Chikore, we had 22 suitcases on top of the bus.
Sure.
That was our luggage.
That is amazing. So let me understand this. So it's in the middle of a war. You're trying to raise 3 young children. You are also needing to actually go back and do your studies because you need to study to be a teacher so you have a profession. So you were juggling war and career and motherhood.
Yes. I don't know how I did it, but it was by God's grace.
That totally sounds well. We're here and we're alive and well, and we're grown up. So well done.
So I qualified as a teacher. Unfortunately, our group was mixed up with people who did not have O levels. So the university refused to give us certificates in education. We got just a T3 certificate. I was irritated because I had my O levels. And funny enough, the following group got certificate in education. And I was really, I wasn't happy.
Yes.
So when I came to Beru, I went to Mukopa Teachers College. I was chasing after that certificate in education. I got it. And the following group got a diploma in education. And I just thought this was nonsense.
Yes.
That's when I registered with the Open University to do a bachelor in educational administration.
I remember I remember that time when you were up and down with varsity.
Yes. And then eventually I did a master's in educational administration. That was my real area. That was the area that's where I wanted to reach. In between, I had children. So when I started when I did a Mukoba certificate in education, that's when Diana was. So I was juggling, feeding and writing assignments. And I managed that.
Wow.
Then 1995, the grandson was born. And I was in the middle of a degree course. And the mother had to go back to college. So I was with my dearest grandson, Taku. I used to put him on my back. That was a period where I don't even know how I did it.
Wow.
I would come back I would take the boy, I would feed him, then put him to bed, go and sleep together. Then midnight, I would wake him up. Then I would bath him, I would feed him, I would put him on my back so that I could write an assignment without disturbance. I would put him at 5 a.m., I would put him to sleep, bath, and go to work. I did that for a full year.
Wow.
It was 2 years. When I was actually carrying an extra course, which I had failed the previous year. And that was my 3rd year. And in that year, I got the university book prize for the best results. Can you imagine?
Wow.
I was carrying. I still have the certificate. I've got it and I'll keep it forever.
That is just phenomenal, Mama.
And I was juggling with work as well. Going to work, coming back. But one thing that helped me a lot was the maid that I had. She was almost like a mother.
Yeah.
We
all remember like she was a legend.
Yes,
she was wonderful with the kids, and she was also the best bodyguard. Hey, no one got out of that gate, and no one came in.
Yeah. Was really, really good. And she got me where I was. And all this time, your dad was working in Harare from 1990. I literally ran the home on my own.
Sure.
But I had no problems because you people really were very obedient. I didn't have any issues with you people. So it made my life so easy. I would send you off to boarding schools. You wouldn't complain. So I any problems with your children, and I had my real fullback, the one who helped me, who supported your brother.
Yes.
He's very quiet, but he always made me realize that he's always there. If there is a problem, I can go to him. So it made my life very easy. And I've always relied on the Lord to guide me. I always pray so that I can be guided properly, so that I don't get lost.
No, you are so right. And Mama, that's such a lesson. It's such a learning for all of us, that you never walk alone. And when times get very, very tough, God carries you. He carries you while you're busy. He was carrying you.
He does. Because when you pray and things don't come the way you are praying, there's a reason why God wants to stop that.
Yes.
If you want to sit down and listen, then you can see God doesn't want me to go.
Exactly.
But what is important is focus. What I found important was focus on my family. and forget about friends, forget about anything else. Friends can just be bystanders, but they shouldn't influence the way you look after your family or you look after your children. Your best friends are your children, your husband, your home.
Yes.
Those were my best friends. So I found my life quite comfortable. I just couldn't find a situation where I would say I want to go out, I want to go and meet my friends, leaving my children behind. I didn't think it would be the right thing to do.
Yeah,
so, pardon?
No, I'm listening, and I'm absorbing, as you are explaining, and I'm making some notes as well, just to as little reminders, for me too, as I'm listening to you. And I wonder also has been the biggest difference between when you were raising us as children and now you're a mother to adults. We're all adults now, right? We've grown up, we've got our own children. What has been the maybe not biggest difference, but what are some memories for you, or some things that you've noticed? What's the difference when you were raising us as kids, teenagers? Now we're grown up and we're out the house, but we're still in your phone.
Yeah, you've really raised a point. I can tell you one thing: no child ever grows up. A child stays a child inside his mother's heart. There is no way, whether it's David, Catherine, or what, as far as I'm concerned, they are still children. And there are certain problems they will meet, they will come across, which I will not be able to handle. Because if I try to handle the problems in the children's families, it's interfering. So the best thing I do is I kneel down every day and ask Lord to guide and give advice to my children. I call you by names, and all your children, I call them by names. Every day I pray for you and I pray for them, so that you know how to raise those children. I don't like the situation where I would come into your house and start saying, TJ should grow up like this, you should do this for you, for Josh, and so forth. I think it's wrong. We should stand back. If I feel there really is something I need to guide you on, I would rather approach you on your own and try to guide you, but it's just a guide. It's not a blueprint. Interfering in the children's lives is the worst thing any parent can do. Supporting the children is the best thing any parent can do. Most of us are not financially stable to be able to help the children financially, but we are able in a situation to help the children by praying for them and guiding them in prayer. No matter how big you are, everything that you do, you should know that it will depend on the Lord. If the Lord permits. That is one statement which I think I always tell you. Whenever you tell me something good has happened, what do I always say? I always say, thank God.
You say thank God, yes.
Nothing will ever come without thanking God. You all children. As far as I'm concerned, you are just children. And I really miss you in this empty house.
Yeah, we miss home. We miss home a lot. It'll always be home.
So children will always be children in the heart of the parent. And one thing is, never give up on your child. That is a statement which I'll always mention. Never give up on your child, no matter what happens. I used to laugh with my friends. If any one of my children decides to go to the beer hall, I'll follow. And I'll tell that child, whether it's a he or a she, I'll tell them, this is wrong. The Lord does not want this. So if Kanara I'm exonerated by the Lord, but you
never give up on your child. That's such powerful advice.
God never gave up on Adam and Eve. So who are you to want to give up on your own child?
That is
Mistakes
very true.
Yes, Children make mistakes. Adam and Eve made mistakes and they were chased out of the garden. But after that, they were given somewhere to stay. They were given clothes to wear. So never give up on your child, because if you give up on your child, the next thing, like if it is a teenager, they will go and get information, advice from elsewhere. And you won't what advice they will be getting. So the best thing is keep your children very close to you. You know what I used to do with you people. I used to be very close to me. So that's what you should do. Keep very close to your children.
That's such good advice.
Problems will come, yes, but the children will listen to you. If you are talking, if you are very close to them, they will tell you, be able to pick out all those what is happening in this time, like the things like drugs and what, children are exposed to all sorts of things. But if they are very close to you, you can pick it. Just looking at the child's face, you can tell there's a problem there. And then you get and go around it and try to find out what is happening and so forth and so forth. And another situation is a child might actually do something really, really irritating you. Try to cry for help, because you'll be too busy running around and forget the child. So that child will put you in a situation where you will never forget this such child.
So make sure you remember they're there.
Yes. I don't want to quote situation.
It's okay. We can move on. We know a few of these situations, but let's move on. So I have another question for you. So many people have said to me personally, especially when they know my siblings, and they say, "Sure, what sort of parents did you have growing up? Your parents have raised a lawyer and a doctor and this executive recruitment person and a CEO, and you. What did they do right? How come we all made it? As in South Africa, people like to say you made it. So I think people want to know, what were those formative years? What was important in our early years? Like maybe when we were when we were 5 years old, or what was that ingredient? Tell us some of the secret ingredients to raising smart children, as people like to say.
That is based on what my father aimed at. Your grandfather, my father was tough on education. He says, I am not rich, but I'll make sure you are rich in your mind. He was for education, because he says there's no other inheritance I can give you except education. So it's also rubbed onto me. When you people started growing up, he was actually following, saying, what are they doing now? He was so interested in your progress that I didn't want to disappoint him. So I kept, I was an infants teacher. So the infants lays the background for education. So I made sure you people could read. The moment you can read and do number work, you don't have any serious problems. I don't know if you still remember, I used to have competitions on spellings and everything.
I remember.
You were in grade 5 and you were extremely good on spelling.
Yes.
So much that when I gave you the same spelling with David and Catherine, you beat them left, right, and center. And they didn't like it.
Wow, that's nice.
It was happening.
Okay.
So those things, I was more interested in checking on the progress everywhere. That's why I sent David to St. Ignatius, because I knew it was a very good school. And that's why I sent you girls to St. Dominic's. Yes, I know you didn't like it, but I was more interested in your education.
Yeah, now it was good for me. It was good for me in the end. So it was fine. Don't worry. I got over myself. I still have friends from St. Dominic's, so that's a good thing.
It was. So it was very important for me to make sure you people are qualified. My aim, I got married when I was 18. I didn't have a qualification of any kind. So I just said, I want my children to be in positions of authority. That was what I was after. I wanted administrators, lawyers, doctors, whatever you put there. And I think the Lord gave me all that.
He did,
and that was it.
And more.
And the lucky thing was your father also had the same thing in mind. He wanted you people to succeed. We didn't want you to fall on the wayside. You may not be very rich, but when you are qualified, you can never go to bed hungry.
That's true.
If you can't, you can create your own job, like what you are doing, like what Karen is doing, like what David is doing. You see, whatever happens, you never go to bed hungry. You can feed your family and everything. But if you depend on the parents' money, when the money runs out and you are not qualified, then you're in trouble.
That's it. It's such good advice, Mama. And it's so practical, you know, especially that reading. You know, you encouraged us to read. I remember growing up in a house full of books. And as a result, my house is also full of books. You know, the books are there. And I said to the kids, get a book. If Joshua or TJ say they're bored, especially when they were younger, Joshua was still young, I'll say, go and get a book. Go and read a book. It opens up a whole new world. So,
and when you read one, you were at the convent, you didn't like it there. And you used to hide textbooks, school books. So I went to the bookshop and I bought the whole series. And I hid it in the bedroom. So every time I said, where's your reading book? He said, I left it at school. Then I would pull out mine.
Wow, I don't even remember that.
It did. And then when you went to the convent, your English was not really very good. So when it came to number, they were using this colored roads. Yellow plus green gives you what? So you were reading at C. So I went there and asked the sister, how is she doing? No, she said, I know your daughter sits in that corner. That's all I know about her. So I said, the problem. She says she can't do a number work, she can't do what, she can't do what. So I said, okay, can she read? She says, yes, she's a very good reader. Then I said, okay, do not teach her a number. I'm going to teach her myself. She says, but what? Then I said, during a number lesson, send her to the Wendy house. There was a Wendy house in the classroom. I said, let her play there. Then you test her in June. So we came here and go and pick stones, and you picked your stones and we started working with stones.
Wow, back to basics.
Yes, and then you did very well. You had no problems. By June, sister tested you and she was shocked. And she said, but how did you do it? Then I said, you're using colors. She didn't understand the colors. She didn't understand the numbers. We used the stones and she could count the stones. So it just shows that when your child is in school, you have to follow up. Because if you don't follow up, things can go haywire.
Yes.
You may not. So you need to follow up, to chase up and see. You were a lot of stories. You know, when you completed O level, you wanted to Nagoro House. You applied to Nagoro House, you failed to, and you wanted to go to Thorny High School. You went there, and the master said, no, I can't take you. Wanted to put you a chaplain. They said, you know, you're an E in literature. I don't know how you got.
That was an interesting story, that E. I can tell you now, there was a lot of playing going on when I was in my O levels. Yes, it was an interesting time. You know what I did? I read the half of Macbeth and not the other half. And the exam came from the other half.
Yeah, you told me that. So Mr. Goja said, I'm sending you to Assisi. Oh, you were mad. Yes. You were mad.
Yeah.
How can you send me there? What? Then, Manu took you to Assisi and you got there. I don't know what happened with the sister who was teaching literature. She didn't want class, and did it?
I can't even remember. I just remember I studied a lot on my own.
That she didn't want you in a class because you were the only one with an E, the rest had A's. Then after 2 selection exams, you were coming top and top. And then she took you to the headmaster, said, can you ask her what she did at O level? Then I think you told him that you read the book overnight.
Yes. I distinctly remember one of my weaknesses, or one of my blind spots, and growing up, I've had to learn to deal it, is I sometimes would overestimate my capabilities to read something overnight and suddenly be good at it. So that was a humbling experience, yes. But it's so amazing how, you know, the power of knowing what the goal should be. How
Yes.
each of us landed up getting to a goal was all very different, but
Yes.
the goal was achieved. So I think for that, it's such a powerful lesson for parents out there, even the parents of the grown-ups, you know, that it's so important to your point, to stay close to your children and to keep guiding them. We will always need you. Doesn't matter how old I am, I'll still need my mother.
It's like a horse with blinkers. It sees the end.
Yes.
And it focuses on the winning point.
Yes.
That's what they should do. Focus on the winning point and leave everything. There are a lot of parking spaces in life, empty parking spaces. You're not supposed to park.
Yes.
You're supposed to keep moving, because if you park, you are lost.
Absolutely.
So it's very important to follow up the children. It's very irritating because you can come across teachers who can irritate you.
Yes.
But checking, you know, just good PR. Even if the teacher scolds you, you know how to respond. Don't get angry, because if you get angry, then there's no communication.
Correct. Don't fight with the teachers. Parents out there.
No. I've been a teacher for my life. Don't fight with the teacher. Go, be patient. If there's a problem, address it.
Yes.
You know, just be patient. Good PR will help the teacher. And
yes.
Okay, suppose you fight with the teacher today and you think you have won the case. What is the relationship between your child and the teacher? Because they are still together.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
It's not right. So it's always best to cooperate with the teacher, unless if it is situations that are criminal. Yes. If there are situations that are criminal that could hurt a child, then you use the correct channel of complaints.
Exactly. No, that's such good advice, Mama. Such good advice. So tell me, Mama, if you were to leave us mothers out there, grandmothers, whoever out there who's raising children, and you were to leave them with any key words of wisdom. You've said a lot, which I will do a summary around, but any last thoughts that you would like to share before we finish our conversation?
The most important one is love. Love the children, love the grandchildren, love the children. When you love the children, it's very easy to get them to be able to assist them, because they can feel that love. That if this person loves me so much and he wants me to do this, I think it's the right thing. Because mind your language when you are talking to children. They might be small, but they don't like violent language. They want to be guided. Let's guide the children. Love them, guide them, and then they will be able to excel. And don't give up on your child. That's the most important one.
No, Mama, thank you so much. I have really enjoyed just having a chat. You know, I feel like you're right next to me, but there you are in another country even. But I just wanted to say you know, just a very big thank you for opening your heart out to us and making yourself so available in your wisdom and in your thoughts. So for that, I just wanted to say thank you.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk. I like to talk.
Yeah, we know you like to talk. We listen to you all our growing up life.
Thank you.
But thank you, Mama. And I want to just do a little summary of some of the wisdom that you've left. And the other message I think you left for us was focus on the family, praying for our children, making sure that we are there for them. You know, our home should be a happy space. Our children should want to be at home. And that's how I felt growing up. I loved being at home, and home was fun. You know, I remember many adventures, many adventures, and I'm sure you have a few scary ones, but I remember many. And I
Lots
like,
of
oh yes, yeah, some that involve stitches and yeah, injuries. And yeah, we won't go there. Let's move on. And then never giving up on your children, staying close to your children. And I think the other one that you spoke about, which really resonated for me at least, was focus on the outcome. Focus on the journey, but focus on the goal, on the winning point that you're trying to get to. You spoke about the horse with the blinkers, and
yes.
it only sees where it's going. It sees the final destination. Don't worry too much about the comments of the friends and the people around. Just focus on the journey that your child needs to be on. I just thought that was just so powerful. And the not picking fights with teachers unless there's actually a dangerous situation happening. I think that's a very important one to us parents out there, particularly, when we feel like, it's a private school and we're paying a lot of money. Don't fight with the teachers, because your child needs the teacher. You're not the teacher. And I thought that was so powerful. So thank you for leaving us with wisdom. And I really look forward to sharing our conversation with everyone. And from my side, I'll say one final thank you, Mama.
Thank you very, very much. I love the day. That's a wonderful Mother's Day.
Exactly. It's a wonderful way to finish off Mother's Day. Hey? And may God continue to bless you on Mother's Day and for all your days to come.
Thank you very much, Florence. Thank you, Flo.
Yes, I'm as far as according to you, I am Fulo, ne? Flo, Florence. No, but Mama, no, thank you so much. And to everyone out there, this is sadly the end of our conversation with Mama Machingaidze, Mrs. Dorothy Machingaidze. We just like, from all of us, I am so grateful that you could join us for this conversation, and we hope that you enjoyed listening, that you enjoyed watching, and I encourage you to tune in to the very next episode of Flow with Flo, where we will continue in conversations that inspire us, that uplift us, and that enlighten us. And on that note, it's a goodbye from me, and I'd like to remind you to keep flowing, to keep moving, to keep going. And that's it from me. Have a lovely rest of your week. Goodbye.